All right, guys. So I just want to come on here and I want to address the video that I did on my my old bulking diet and pretty much like what I did to gain a substantial amount of weight, like very rapidly, like really quickly. And I just wanted to point out a couple things that I want to highlight for people to keep in mind for what they take from the video that I posted. And I want to make sure that people understand that in the description, I say that this is what I did to put on a lot of weight. So this is what I did, and it worked for me. But again, in the video, I speak about the fact that you know you know just cramming food in is again at the cost of stressing out your causing stress to your body, your organs and stuff like that, which is not actually like a good thing, when you're overloading your body, and you're not um making sure that you're not exceeding what's like bioavailable, which is like what your body can actually handle like per day, and just ultimately handle like in terms of um, nutrition and calories that it could intake, right? So I just want to make sure that people, what I really want to get across to people who are like trying to put on weight, and obviously like the idea of like putting on weight fast or losing weight fast is like it's not like a realistic thing. Like these things take time, these things take like studying your body and you know uh realizing what works for you, and creating the right combinations so that you could get the best out of you know whatever your goal is, you know what I'm saying? So um a few things now. So one of the things is that I mentioned is the fact that what I was doing, it kind of made me develop this routine. So that's one, like it the way what I was doing in terms of you know uh eating all these things, like starting at 4 a.m. Like I said, the shake that I would drink, I would start drinking that at 4 a.m. in the morning, right? And that was like, again, that just like reveals the consistency that I had when it came to making sure that I was, getting that shake in, to get those, extra calories. Starting at 4 a.m. and maybe ending my day around like 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night. You know what I'm saying? So at 4 a.m., like, that just gives me a longer period of time to be able to get even more food in for my body to maybe metabolize the food. Have more time to metabolize and digest. You know what I'm saying? Even though I wasn't really keeping that in mind, but that's what you know was kind of just by default like was happening, you know what I mean, when I was starting so early and shit, just gave me the opportunity to eat more food, you know what I'm saying, which ultimately like um helped me gain more weight, you know what I mean. And that in specific was what I was trying to do. I was trying to put on weight, you know what I mean? And another thing is what I was doing was I was training. I was always training. I trained every single day, high intensity training, lifting heavy. So I'm, burning more calories as I, progress and get stronger and shit like that. I'm doing compound lifts like squatting heavy, leg press heavy, benching heavy, deadlifting. I didn't deadlift as much, but deadlifting everything. I was lifting heavy weights all the time. And again, I was in the gym all the time. Like I would spend like 2 hours, 2.5 hours in the gym. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to just lifting and like I guess taking my time and just doing all types of exercises and shit like that, right? So again, which can, recovery. I talk about those three things: training, recovery, nutrition, right? My recovery was shit, and those are things that I learned from. But at the same time, yeah, I was always training. So me eating all that food, you know, was again, that was like a good thing that I was training as much as I was, because if I wasn't training, then I would literally just be fat. You know what I mean? I would literally just it would have just I would literally just be causing a lot of even more damage to my body, if not already, you know what I mean? But I was able to get away with it, and it worked for me because again, I was training a lot. I was training like crazy, and my sleep wasn't as good because it was a different time. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a pandemic. Like I was outside for real. So like it was crazy. Yeah, I was like sleeping, goddamn, I was sleeping like 30 minutes sometimes and then getting up and going to fucking work and shit like that. But the thing was, again, was a routine. I had a routine. So I would literally sleep 30 minutes and like I said I would develop this obsession, and I was like obsessed. So I would literally wake up and I'd sleep for 30 minutes and make sure I woke up at 4 a.m. to get that shake in, no matter what, you know what I mean? By any means, because that's how obsessed I was with just getting the calories in. So I want people to uh, take that idea of just being consistent and, applying that to, you know, their, their, um, their goals of gaining weight, putting on size, and shit like that. I want you to take those type of things, not necessarily what I was eating, what I was doing, but just the idea of being that like relentless and being that like determined and developing a routine and being that consistent. That's really what I want people to take from this is that. Yeah, sorry. I just had to pause it to make sure that this shit was recording and you could hear my vocals, because last time I recorded like an hour of video and the sound wasn't on, so I was like pissed about that. But anyways, so again, like the consistency, like the the relentlessness with developing a routine and sticking to it, because that's really how I gained the weight. It wasn't cramming food. It was really just having a routine and being patient with it. You know what I mean? I was being patient, and I just every single day I was doing the same thing, and eventually, I started to incline and I started to just gain weight, and I started to get strong like this, like just crazy strong and shit. And uh yeah, and then it showed, you know what I mean? And that's really how I got the results I got. So I want to make sure people uh take that idea and apply it to their goals. Um now one of the things that I advise this time around, because this is my old bulking diet. I don't bulk like that anymore. Right now I'm in a surplus, and it's ending this week, and I'm gonna start my next phase of where I want to take my body and my goals. Uh, so this week I'm kind of just like having fun, eating some cereal, kind of having fun with like um, eating like burgers and stuff like that, and just enjoying that before I kind of really start cleaning things up and I go into my next phase and my next goal and what my next thing I want to achieve is, right? But yeah, I just want to let people know, like, um, that's my old bulking diet. That's what I did after high school. People who know me as like a skinny ass dude and shit, that's what I did, you know, over a period of time to get to gaining weight, Skinny as I was, that's what I did. But really, like, let me tell you this. There was a time when I started working out, I started drinking protein shakes, weight gainers, whatever. And, I got to like about 210, 212 pounds. And, and yeah, and, it was, it was cool, I was gaining some weight. My shirt, like my medium sized shirt fit a bit tighter and shit like that. And it was all good, right? I was progressing. But then I hit like a plateau. I plateaued and I couldn't put on any more weight. So I was like, I was like, man, this is at a time when I was kind of like, man, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out how to put on size, all these things. I'm learning about creatine and whatever else, and like, I didn't really know where to go from there because, I'm still learning, young, impressionable, didn't really know how, still figuring things out, right? So, I would literally just, again, it's just, I would literally just obsess over trying to figure out like how to, I was influenced by like bodybuilders and stuff like that, and just like, you know, how big they were and shit like that. Even though like there was other things that you have to do to get to like 300 pounds, right? But I would watch them and I was influenced by them, and I came across a bodybuilder, and his name's Kai Green. Anybody who knows bodybuilding, they know Kai Green, right? So I came across Kai Green, and there's a video series where he's in a red hoodie, and anyone who knows, they know that red hoodie Kai Green, like, but yeah, there was a series he had, and it was kind of documenting his come up to competing in the Olympia and everything. And I was watching that, and you know yeah, I was in this place where I wasn't gaining weight anymore. I plateaued or whatever, and I was just thinking like, man, like, I don't know what else to do. So I'm watching this thing and I'm seeing like his lifestyle, and his lifestyle is really like eat, sleep, train, recovery, right? And he just gave me a different perspective on like bodybuilding and just health, and like that healthy lifestyle, and you know being like undeniably like relentless with your work. And through watching him, like, he would wake up, start cooking. He'd be in a hoodie in the kitchen sweating, like cooking chicken and that broccoli and the rice, that foundational food like combination, you know what I mean? And you know, I remember watching a video, and he's has like this pile of rice, you know, it was like six different dishes, Tupperware of food, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, man, I want to be big, but like, I'm not eating like that. You know what I mean? Like, this guy makes me look like a child, man. Like, this guy's making what this guy's doing to get big and shit. Like, I'm not doing that shit. So that's what clicked. I was like, I'm not eating enough, you know what I mean? I'm not eating enough. I'm not going hard enough. So I just upped the ante, right? And I started eating more. And yeah, that's literally how it kind of developed into, that obsessive way where I was literally eating so much. I got sick of it. And so just figured it out. I figured out another way to get the food in. And that's what the infamous blender, blending my eggs and shit came into play. Where I was like, I need to get my eggs in. I can't eat it anymore because it's just like it makes me sick in the morning. I know in the morning a lot of people don't really have a big appetite, you know. So yeah, like, I couldn't eat. So I'm like, I have to figure out how I'm gonna get this food in. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just blend it up, you know, and drink it and chug it. It's gonna take me like, it's literally gonna take me 10 seconds to chug this thing and I'm done, rather than sit there and like torture myself trying to eat it. So that's why I just figured it out. And that's what another thing I want people to take from this is, from the video, is like, you know, figuring out, developing your routine and just, you know, figuring things out, you know what I mean? Trying different things. Again, like I was extreme with it, but again, like if you want to see results, you gotta be real and you gotta, you know, be undeniable, man. Like I was undeniable. I was willing to take it wherever, and that's why over my peers and shit, like I'm the one who made that drastic change because I was willing to. I was up at, you know, up at 4 a.m. getting it in and shit. You know, I'm hours ahead of these guys. You know what I mean? So hours ahead of like other people are just waking up at goddamn, you know, 10 o'clock and shit like that and just eating breakfast. Like I already ate 3 times before that, you know what I mean? So I was out working people, and that's really what it was. That's really what got me, um, you know, the size that I wanted and got me in the direction I was trying to go, is that consistency, you know? And to be honest, like I apply it to like everything now, and it kind of like helped me build like a sense of mental toughness, you know, which is something like I developed from young from other things, you know. I'll get into that in a different video of how I, you know, even got into working out and shit really. But like again, like I wasn't, here's the thing, I wasn't like trying to be Kai Green, because I wasn't trying to be like 300 pounds or anything like that, or Mr. Olympia. But what I did take from him was, and what I did reference from him was that mentality, you know, of just routinely, you know, obsessively doing the same thing every single day, repetition, you know. I kept doing it every single day, and that's really when I just started to shoot, you know, like just grow. And yeah, like that's not always like the way I did it. Like like I said in the video, was like I was younger, 20 years old, I was able to get away with it, you know. But like, um you know, as you age, like that's not really the best thing to do. And honestly, even at 20 years old, we're all different, you know, so that can affect us different. You know, I come from a sports background, so you know, my body was able to hold it, and then just genetically, I was just able to, you know, hold all that weight and shit. So, um, yeah, that's really what I wanted to just come on here and clarify as well. Now, if you are trying to put on weight, you know, uh, the I would say the best thing to, sometimes you, when you just stubborn, like you just like me, and you kind of like stubbornly can't put on weight and shit and gain weight for, because you're lengthy, you know, you have a fast metabolism, you know what I mean? That's just your genetic code, right? Um, yeah, like, you know, sometimes you just gotta get fat, honestly, you know? Sometimes when things are not working, you just have to try different things, you know? And I don't mean just become sloppy. Like you need to have your, you need to make sure you're taking care of your cardiovascular health too, you know, and make sure you're hitting that cardio so your body can perform better, you know what I'm saying? You just give yourself more longevity and a better chance, and honestly, like you'll make better gains in um that fashion, rather than just stressing out your body, right? You know, you want your body to perform at its highest. So you want to make sure that you're not just stressing it out. So obviously those 3 things, uh nutrition, training, recovery, right? Those 3 things. You know what I mean? Like those are really what will, you know, get you where you want to be. And again, it was a learning curve for me because I was checking off, I was eating, my goals were to get big. Again, my goals were to get big. I was eating, I was training, my sleep wasn't as good, you know what I mean? Like that was the thing that wasn't as good, and had I had good sleep, I probably would have been even bigger, you know what I'm saying? Like cuz my body would have been able to recover and I would have been able to fuel it even more, you know? So, my suggestion is like, you know, I don't know, I would do, again, depending on your goals, I would do like I would try and find a really clean uh like protein shake, and you can make your own protein shakes. That's why like you see the second protein shake I made was protein powder, and then it was just like some oats and then fruit, you know, and like scoop of peanut butter. You know what I mean? I just drank that shit, and that's just a shitload of calories right there, and that's not really nothing fancy. You know what I mean? But you could do that with like a vegan protein as well, with less preservatives as these other branded protein shakes would have and shit like that. You know, because again, like uh yeah, we want to stay healthy, man. We want to stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's different if you're trying to power lift, be a power lifter, bulky guy. Again, depending on your goals or whatever, but like, you know, we want to be healthy in this day and age, in these times where the food is so questionable and shit like that. You want to give yourself like the best you want to have a balance, you know, and yeah, exactly that. You want to have a sense of balance, you know what I mean? And that's gonna put you at the best, put you in the best place to get to where you want to get to, you know? So that's for gaining weight, you know what I mean? I would definitely try and choose whole food sources. Again, if it's tough to get food in, try the shakes and stuff, you know. Um, yeah, and just be careful with the amount of have portion control, and I call it portion control. Have portion control, and you know, don't just fucking take a bunch of fruits and shit because it's high sugar. You know, you don't want too much because you don't want to get if you don't want to get fat. You know what I mean? But even then, make sure you're training. Make sure you're training in uh, your training intensity is high enough so that you're burning calories, because the idea of being in a surplus and gaining weight is, you know, calories in, calories out, you know what I mean? And even to take it even further, try and uh, go in Google and find uh, a calculator, body calculator, and you could find out what range of like calories for your body, like your based on your height, how much you train, your age, and everything. You could find out like how much calories your body on average can take in, and then you could base it off of that. And then obviously a slight surplus is going to be, you know, 200 to 300 calories above whatever that number is, that range is. And then yeah, and then just take that idea of developing a routine, being obsessive with it. Like, I don't care, be obsessive with it, where you're doing it every single day and staying consistent. And yeah, and uh yeah, and then watch the results. Like, that's really how the results will come, you know what I mean? But yeah, choose the right combinations of foods. um yeah, yeah, honestly, there's even more things that I forgot that I even did. Like, I think I hit 6,500 calories in that video, but again, there's even more things that I did. Like, I used to take 3 pieces of bread and slap Nutella on that shit, and I would eat that too. So that was missing. I would eat tuna. I would literally crack open a can of tuna, fucking whip that shit up, throw it on bread, and eat that too. all in the within the same day. So that's something I even forgot that I did. But again, it was the, the routine and the consistency that I had. I can't stress that enough. It was those things that really got me the results ultimately, not just what you see in the video. Because this is my old diet. I don't do this anymore. I don't do that anymore. I don't even eat those things anymore. Like, I don't even drink protein shakes anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, that's what I did before. So, tangent talk. I just had to come on here and spill that out and get that out. It's like fucking 5 a.m. I went for my run in the morning at 4 a.m. Had a cold shower, just ate. I just ate. Here I am, up, just eating my oats and stuff like that. So like, yeah, here I got a routine down, you know, that I do. Um, I do every day consistently, and that's what is getting me the results that I get, really. So I hope people take that from the video ultimately, and I hope people just had fun watching it. And yeah, more videos to come. Peace. If you have any questions, specific questions for me and about regarding like what I did and shit like that, or anything else that you want to know, even what I'm doing now in terms of gaining weight or keeping gains or whatever like that, just hit me in the comments, ask me what you want, and I'll do a video on it or whatever. This is a tangent, man. I just go off and yap shit. So I could be right, I couldn't be wrong. I could not know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, take that with a grain of salt and form your own conclusive thoughts. And peace.